Greetings, it's Intuitive Jakob back to do a musical tarot reading, down and dirty style, by elements. So we're going to be using a raw piece of rose quartz for fire tribes, a pine cone for earth tribes, magnetic rainbow hematite for water tribes, and a wooden cephalopod. It's a little octopus there for air tribes. I'm going to be playing one song that all the tribes have in common from my Art of Love musical tarot deck, one card from the John Holland Psychic Tarot Oracle, one Romance Angels card, pulling out some Sibilas. Sometimes multiple messages come up. Sometimes they're very specific, so they may or may not match for you. Feel free to check back. I'm doing these regularly. If you would like one that's done with just your energy, feel free to hit me up at artoflove.me and I'd be happy to do one for you. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from Elias Lonsdale's Inside Degrees, and I wanted to make a reference point also to feminist history today. One of the things that I've been finding is time didn't happen. We are stacking fractals of the stories that haven't been reconciled, and we are particle infusing into hyperdense form, and it ain't what they told us in band camp, kids. I did want to bring up 3 birthdays that are happening today that are awesome, because the moon reading today for Scorpio 26 is actually called a she-wolf, her udders full of milk. And I thought it was interesting that today we've actually got a birthday of 3 really strong women that you may or may not have heard of. One is Virginia Tony Caraballo. She was actually a huge activist for women's issues. And it's actually her birthday. She served in the National Organization for Women from 1968 to 1987 and co-authored the Feminist Chronicles from 1953 to 1993. Also, a birthday today is Sandra Day O'Connor. She was the first woman in the U.S. Supreme Court, the first U.S. Supreme Court justice, and that happened in 1981. And also today, it's Nancy Pelosi's birthday. So speaking of she-wolf, some of you all might be very familiar with who she is, but she is the first woman speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, 2007 to 2009, and also serves as a Democratic representative in the state of California on the House of Representatives. So interesting. Happy birthday to those women. And I'm going to go ahead and read to you from the book about the she-wolf. This is today's moon. A she-wolf, udders full of milk, bearing within you something vast and wild and true, your instincts given over to this seed. What can be and must be impels sacrifice and renunciation, being held in the grip of vast primordial forces, taken over by depths that forge new worlds into being, stunned into submission, unconsciously obsessed with something that lives within you and cannot be forgotten, supercharged with energy, in tune with the Earth's cycles, everything happening in a magnified and hypnotic atmosphere. The hidden worlds take charge. Individuality is eclipsed, and the surge of power dominates consciousness and life by its intensity and ruthless current right through the body, and there is nothing to say about it. What's going on, water tribes? How you doing? We'll go ahead and start flipping these cards that were already shuffled. All right. So, well, we've got the 4 Foundation and Achievements cards showing up. That's a great card for a prototype there. That's 3 people that are staring at the house. I'm hearing you might have been doing some home improvements. You know, that's a family of 3 looking there at the house. There's a rainbow there. And that card is actually very similar to Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot card, the 4 of Wands or the 4 of Batons in more traditional decks. Which is a beautiful creative energy, and Aaron, it's just really a good time for some of you, especially if you've been putting ideas into action about what it is that's going to bring stability to your life, because this is a confirmation here of sorts. If you haven't already received some, confirmation about foundation and achievements of possible forthcoming news over this period of time that could help you feel a little bit more stable in that house situation. That's one of my happy house cards, and so I like that. And if it hasn't gotten there, I'm hearing something about people that just want to work from home, and it was coming up a little bit. You might have fire in your chart too. You might be interested in looking at the fire tribes reading, but I was hearing about people that are stepping out into their own and sometimes dealing with the onlookers that either don't like what you're doing or don't like that they're not the ones doing it. Put it that way. It's like that hate a message. But, ooh, here we go. We've got a message coming up from the Romance Angels about unrequited love. This one says, there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. It's interesting juxtaposed to this song, because I'm hearing about somebody that wants in on the family and feeling like this is meant to be, and somebody else being like, not sure, we met for a reason, yeah, I'll give you that, but there might not be the kind of chemistry there to help substantiate that, and you'll have to know what side of that you're on, but that's always a fun one to deal with. I'm hearing for somebody, it's really just about having some decency with how you handle people, especially if you're receiving a lot of attention. I'm hearing for somebody too, it's not that they don't really want the relationships or whatever, it's just they have a lot of people that are vying for their attention. And so for somebody, I'm hearing that it's like, it's less about, no, I don't want to see you, and more about, I'm focused on my creative pursuits. Let's see what else we get here. We got some time here, and see what Sabila said. Alright. Okay. Well, Militare. This is an interesting card. Sometimes this is somebody that just will take a stab at something because they have it in their mind that they want to do something. And you see they got something sharp there in their arm, and they're not carrying much. They're just going for it. Maybe kind of like this guy here that went in for the hand and the proposal, and I'm here for somebody. It's like, thank you, but I'm just your friend. La Donna di Servizio. This is not a very romantic card for me. I mean, this person can be romantic in context, but this right here is somebody who shows up in service and in help to others. And I'm hearing it might not be the chemistry. This is somebody that's like very forward and aggressive. This is a military person here. There's a soldier. This could be somebody in the military. It could be somebody in the government. It could be somebody that's in law enforcement. But then we have this here. Wow, sacerdote. This is the priest. This is one of the virgins in the deck. And so I'm hearing for somebody here that, okay, here's an interesting message that's coming through. If you're the center of attention, if you're this helpful person here, whether or not you're female, La Donna di Servizio, this is somebody that shows up and does helpful things for people. I'm hearing that it's like you're all that in a bag of chips. You've got all these suitors here, and you got this guy that's like coming in like this, and I'm hearing one of them might be really ruthless. They've got this guy here showing really ruthless, and then there's this really spiritual one that just kind of keeps to himself a little bit. And I'm hearing that for somebody, they might be getting a lot of attention right now, and they might be mostly focused on what it is that they're doing. You're going to know if it's you. All right, hit me up if you would like for me to take a look just with your private energy, and if not, check back again soon. I'll be back for another one. Bye for now.